Welcome to Coins News Daily. Today we are talking about the United States of America most valuable rare Roosevelt one-dime coin that has shocked collectors around the world. Did you know that some Roosevelt dimes are worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes. A small 10-cent coin could be your hidden treasure. The most valuable Roosevelt dimes include rare silver issues, minting errors, and special low-mintage coins. Some rare error dimes with no mint mark or double die errors have sold for huge money at auctions. Collectors are always searching for these rare coins. And the scary part? Many people still have them in their pockets without knowing, so before you spend your old dimes, check the date, check the mint mark, and look for errors. That small coin could change your financial future forever. If you love rare coin discoveries and valuable coin news, subscription, like, share, comment me. Thanks with love for watching. Top 1. Today we are diving into a coin that most people have seen, spent, or ignored without a second thought, yet hidden within this small silver-colored piece could be a story of rarity, minting precision, and surprising value. Get comfortable, coin lovers, because this is a deep and fascinating journey into the 2001 Roosevelt dime from the United States of America. When you hear Roosevelt dime, you probably think of loose change sitting in a jar. But collectors know better. Behind every date and mint mark lies a world of production numbers, die varieties, strike quality, and condition rarity. And today, we are focusing on the 2001 dime struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small but powerful P mint mark. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, shortly after the passing of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The design honors the 32nd President of the United States, a leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The obverse of this coin features his left-facing portrait, designed by Chief Engraver John R. Sinek. His initials, J.S., appear at the base of Roosevelt's neck. On the reverse, you'll find a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence. By 2001, the Roosevelt dime was no longer struck in silver for circulation. Since 1965, regular dimes have been composed of a copper core layered between outer bands of copper nickel. So the 2001 dime is a clad coin, not silver. That alone might make some collectors assume it holds little value. But that assumption can be misleading. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes in 2001. At first glance, that high mintage suggests common availability. However, rarity in modern coins often comes not from low mintage but from condition, strike quality, and mint errors. Let's talk about condition rarity. Most 2001 dimes entered circulation immediately. They were used in vending machines, dropped on sidewalks, stacked in cash registers, and stored in jars. Over time, they picked up scratches, contact marks, dull surfaces, and worn details. Finding a heavily circulated example today is easy. Finding a flawless one is a different story. In the world of coin grading, condition is everything. A coin graded mint state 60 might show numerous marks and weak luster. But when you move up to mint state 67 or mint state 68, you are entering elite territory. These coins must display blazing luster, razor-sharp details, and almost no visible marks even under magnification. For the 2001 Roosevelt dime, superb gem examples are surprisingly scarce. Many were not saved in pristine condition. Collectors at the time focused more on state quarters, which were extremely popular in 2001. As a result, fewer rolls of dimes were preserved carefully. That lack of attention makes top population coins far more desirable today. Now let's explore strike quality. Even though the Philadelphia Mint has advanced technology, not every coin leaves the press perfectly struck. Some 2001 dimes show weak details in Roosevelt's hair above the ear. Others have slightly soft torch lines on the reverse. A sharply struck example with full detail stands out significantly to collectors. There is also the matter of full bands. On the reverse of the Roosevelt dime, the torch features horizontal bands. If these bands are fully separated and clearly defined, the coin may qualify for a full bands designation from grading services. This small detail can dramatically increase desirability and value. Full bands examples require strong strike pressure and fresh dies. Many coins fall just short. Now let's move into the exciting world of mint errors, where ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die. A double die occurs when the die itself receives a doubled impression during creation. This results in noticeable doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. On a 2001 P dime, collectors carefully inspect the date and inscriptions like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Strong doubling can transform a simple dime into a highly collectible variety. Another dramatic error is the off-center strike. When a blank planchet is not properly aligned during striking, part of the design may be missing. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the full date, the more valuable it becomes. These pieces are visually striking and highly collectible. Clipped planchets also attract attention. This occurs when the metal blank is improperly cut, leaving a curved missing section. Because the minting process is tightly controlled, such mistakes are uncommon and exciting to find. Broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, can cause the coin to spread outward, creating a wider, thinner appearance. These errors are fascinating examples of what happens when machinery alignment fails. Die cracks and cut errors are also possible. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin caused by a cracked die. A cud is a larger raised blob of metal where part of the die has broken away. While small cracks are relatively common, dramatic cuds are far more desirable. There is even the rare possibility of a wrong planchet error. Though extremely unusual, if a dime were struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, it would create a major rarity. For collectors, the thrill lies in searching. Many valuable coins are discovered not in auctions, but in pocket change, coin rolls from banks, and inherited collections. The 2001 P Roosevelt dime may not scream rarity at first glance, but careful examination can reveal hidden gems. Another important factor is luster. Original mint luster creates a cartwheel effect when the coin is tilted under light. This shimmering glow is often diminished once a coin circulates. A blazing original surface without cleaning or alteration is highly prized. Speaking of cleaning, one critical warning for collectors: never clean your coins. Cleaning can destroy original surfaces and significantly reduce value. Even a rare error coin can lose appeal if improperly cleaned. Collectors building date and mint sets of Roosevelt dimes often seek the finest possible examples of each year. As time passes, high-grade modern coins become harder to find because fewer remain untouched. Population reports from grading services show that top-graded coins represent a tiny fraction of total mintage. So what is the real market value? In circulated condition, a 2001 P Roosevelt dime is generally worth face value, 10 cents. In uncirculated mint state grades, examples typically sell for a few dollars depending on quality. High-grade specimens graded around mint state 67 can sell in the range of $20 to $40. Superb gem examples graded mint state 68 have reached auction levels of around $100 to $200 depending on eye appeal and demand. Examples with full bands designation in top condition have achieved auction prices approaching $300. Major error coins such as strong double dies or dramatic off-center strikes can command prices from $100 to several $100s depending on severity and preservation. So the next time you see a 2001 dime with a small P mint mark, do not dismiss it. Examine the details. Look at the torch bands. Study the surfaces under light. Check for doubling, cracks, and strike quality. Because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge transforms ordinary change into potential treasure, coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story of metal, machinery, and the hands it has passed through. And sometimes, hidden in plain sight, a small dime can remind us that value often lies where we least expect it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2001 P Roosevelt dime, stay curious, keep searching, and always look twice at your change. Your next great discovery might already be in your pocket. Top 2. We are making something truly special. Not just another coin video. Not just another Roosevelt dime story. Today we are diving deep into a modern mystery that has collectors searching through pocket change late at night, checking mint marks under bright lamps, and asking one big question: could a simple 2007 Roosevelt dime really be worth serious money? Stay with me, because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at your spare change. Let's begin with the coin itself. The 2007 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The small letter P, located just to the right of Roosevelt's portrait near the date, tells us it was made in Philadelphia. Millions upon millions were produced that year. In fact, the mintage reached well over 500 million pieces. So at first glance, nothing about this coin sounds rare. Nothing sounds valuable. It seems ordinary, but here's the thing collectors understand better than anyone else: rarity is not always about low mintage. Sometimes rarity is about condition. Sometimes it is about errors. Sometimes it is about survival. And sometimes it is about perfection. The Roosevelt dime itself has a long history. First introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, this coin replaced the Mercury dime. Roosevelt was chosen because of his leadership and his association with the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio. Since then, the design has remained largely unchanged, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American pocket change. By 2007, the dime was already made of copper and nickel, no longer containing silver like the pre-1965 issues. That means there is no silver value in a 2007 dime. Its value must come from something else, and that something else is where things get exciting. Let's talk about condition first. Most 2007 dimes circulated heavily. They went through vending machines, cash registers, banks, and pockets. They picked up scratches, contact marks, dull surfaces, and wear. But a tiny percentage were saved in pristine condition. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services are extremely hard to find. At those levels, we are talking about sharp details, blazing luster, and almost no visible marks even under magnification. In top condition, collectors compete fiercely. Why? Because registry set collectors want the best of the best. They want the highest graded example known. And when populations are low in the highest grades, prices rise dramatically. Now let's move to errors. This is where things get truly interesting. Mint errors are accidental mistakes that occur during the production process. And even in a modern year like 2007, errors absolutely happen. One of the most valuable possibilities is a double die error. This happens during the creation of the die itself, when the design is impressed more than once at slightly different angles. The result can be visible doubling in the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust. True double die coins are rare and highly collectible. Another exciting possibility is an off-center strike. If the coin blank is not properly seated in the press, the design may be struck partially off-center. The more dramatic the off-center strike while still showing the full date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are also broad strikes, where the coin spreads beyond its normal diameter due to collar failure. Clipped planchets, where part of the metal blank is missing before striking. And even wrong planchet errors, where a dime design is struck on a blank meant for another denomination. Imagine finding a 2007 Roosevelt dime struck on a penny planchet. The color would look wrong. The weight would be different. That kind of discovery would electrify the coin community. And yes, these kinds of pieces have surfaced in modern coinage. Collectors should also carefully inspect for die cracks and cut errors. A cud is a raised blob of metal on the coin caused by a broken piece of the die. While minor cracks are common and often inexpensive, major cuds can carry strong premiums. Now let's talk about the Philadelphia Mint itself. Unlike some years in the past, Philadelphia coins now carry the P Mint mark. That makes identification simple. But it also means there were enormous production runs. With such high output, quality control can sometimes allow small varieties or errors to escape into circulation. That is why searching bank rolls can still be rewarding. Many collectors enjoy hunting original bank-wrapped rolls of 2007 dimes, looking for high-grade examples that were never released into circulation. Occasionally, a superb gem coin emerges. One with blazing luster, razor-sharp details in Roosevelt's hair, and fully defined torch bands on the reverse. Ah yes, the reverse of the Roosevelt dime features a torch in the center, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. The torch represents liberty. The olive branch stands for peace. The oak branch symbolizes strength and independence. Collectors pay very close attention to the horizontal and vertical bands on the torch. Fully separated bands are highly desirable in high-grade coins. Now let's get to what everyone wants to know. Is the 2007 P. Roosevelt dime valuable? In everyday circulated condition, this coin is worth face value 10 cents. That is the real market value for a worn example. In uncirculated mint state 65 condition, the value is typically around $1 to $3 depending on appeal. In extremely high grades such as mint state 67, auction records have shown examples selling for around $30 to $50. In even higher certified grades with exceptional appeal, some pieces have realized between $100 and $200 at auction. Major mint error examples such as dramatic off-center strikes or rare double die varieties can bring anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on the severity and collector demand. These are real market ranges based on collector sales and auction results. So what should you do? First, check your change. Second, examine any 2007 P dimes under magnification. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the mint mark. Third, inspect the reverse torch bands carefully. And finally, consider professional grading if you truly believe you have a flawless or unusual piece. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasure can hide in plain sight. A simple dime. A small silver-colored disc that most people ignore. But for those who look closer, who study details, who understand rarity and condition, that same dime can become a prize, and that is why today we explored the 2007 P. Roosevelt dime in depth. Because sometimes the most ordinary coins hold the most extraordinary stories. If you love coin hunting, if you enjoy searching for hidden value, and if you believe treasure is still out there waiting to be discovered, then keep collecting, keep learning, and keep checking your change. You never know when a tiny mint mark and a perfect strike could turn 10 cents into something truly valuable. Top 3. We are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in circulation, the 2018 D. Roosevelt dime. And trust me, if you think a simple 10-cent coin cannot be valuable, this video is going to completely change your mindset. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a small silver-colored dime, and realizing that this tiny coin could be worth far more than 10 cents. That is the excitement of coin collecting. That is the thrill that keeps collectors searching through rolls, bank boxes, and pocket change every single day. The Roosevelt dime has been part of American history since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by John R. Sinnock, this coin has remained one of the longest-running designs in United States coinage. But today we are focusing on a modern issue, the 2018 D. Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, a coin struck at the Denver Mint. At first glance, the 2018 D dime looks completely ordinary. On the obverse, you see Roosevelt's portrait facing left. The word liberty appears along the left side, in God We Trust is placed near the lower left, and the date 2018 is positioned to the right of the portrait. Just above the date, you will find the small but important D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. On the reverse, the classic torch design is featured in the center, symbolizing liberty. An olive branch appears on one side representing peace, and an oak branch on the other symbolizing strength and independence. The words United States of America and one dime surround the design. Millions of 2018 D dimes were produced. The mintage exceeded hundreds of millions, making it a common circulating coin. So how can something produced in such large numbers become valuable? The answer lies in condition, rarity within condition, and mint errors. In circulated condition, a 2018 D Roosevelt dime is generally worth only its face value of 10 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples trade for only a small premium over face value, but here is where it becomes exciting. When we move into high-grade mint state examples, especially coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the population drops dramatically. Not every coin leaves the mint perfectly struck. Tiny contact marks from other coins during transportation, weak strikes, or small abrasions reduce the grade. A coin graded MS67 displays strong luster, sharp details, and minimal marks visible even under magnification. These high-quality coins are scarce compared to the total mintage. Now let's talk about something that really gets collectors excited: mint errors. Mint errors occur when something unusual happens during the production process. And even modern coins like the 2018 D dime can have errors. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin die receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on letters or numbers. On a Roosevelt dime, collectors carefully examine the word Liberty, the date, and In God We Trust for signs of doubling. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned during striking, resulting in part of the design missing. Off-center errors can range from minor shifts to dramatic examples where half the coin is blank. The more dramatic the error while still showing the full date, the more desirable it becomes. Clipped planchet errors are also fascinating. These occur when the metal blank is improperly cut from the sheet, leaving a curved or straight clip missing from the coin's edge. Even though the coin is technically damaged from birth, collectors love these because they are genuine mint mistakes. There are also die cracks and cut errors. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin caused by a crack in the die itself. A cut forms when a piece of the die breaks off entirely, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin. These can make an otherwise common 2018 D dime very collectible. Another factor that can increase desirability is a full torch designation. On Roosevelt dimes, collectors look closely at the horizontal and vertical bands on the torch. If the bands are fully separated and sharply defined, the coin may receive a full bands designation from grading services. These are much harder to find because even slight weakness in strike can blur the bands. So while millions of 2018 D dimes were struck, only a very small percentage achieved top grades with full bands. That scarcity within condition is what drives higher prices. Roll searching has become a popular hobby because of coins like this. Collectors purchase bank rolls of dimes and carefully inspect each coin under magnification. The thrill of discovering a pristine example or spotting a rare error keeps the excitement alive. It is important to remember that condition is everything. A coin with scratches, heavy marks, or dull luster will not command a premium. Proper storage is essential. Using coin holders, avoiding touching the surface with bare fingers, and keeping coins in a dry environment helps preserve value. Modern coins are often overlooked, but history shows that today's pocket change can become tomorrow's collectible treasure. Many collectors regret not saving high-grade examples of past decades when they were easy to find. Now let's talk about real market numbers. A typical circulated 2018 D Roosevelt dime is worth 10 cents. An uncirculated example in mint state condition generally sells for $1 to $3 depending on quality. A certified MS67 example has sold in the market for around $40 to $80 depending on appeal. An exceptional MS68 graded coin has reached auction prices around $200 to $300. A strong off-center or major mint error example can bring anywhere from $100 to over $500 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, and rare dramatic error pieces in pristine condition have reached auction levels close to $1,000 in specialized sales. Think about that. A 10-cent coin potentially worth hundreds of dollars simply because of condition or a minting mistake. That is why coin collectors pay attention to every detail. That is why examining even modern coins matters. The 2018 D Roosevelt dime may look ordinary, but hidden among millions could be a small number of extraordinary pieces waiting to be discovered. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those dimes. Take a closer look. Check the mint mark. Examine the torch bands. Look for doubling, cracks, clips, and off-center strikes, because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge turns pocket change into opportunity, and who knows? The next valuable 2018 D Roosevelt dime might already be in your hands. Keep searching, keep learning, and most importantly, enjoy the hunt.